Welcome, everyone, to Right Size Livin', where recovery meets real life. From health and fitness to humor and hard-earned lessons, this is your space for honest conversations, personal stories, and tips to thrive in every aspect of life. Whether you're in recovery or just curious about living alcohol and addiction-free, you're in the right place. Let's dive into the journey together.
God, I hope we get a calf shot here.
Oh, there he is.
God, come on, baby.
Turn your camera on.
Let's see those calves.
Yeah, you wearing your
Now
shorts?
you got to turn your microphone on. This is a sad story when I'm telling you what to do.
Look, Rob, I just got in. Okay, we're getting the
That's a
text
lie.
on.
I saw a picture with you in your coffee minutes ago.
No, I just got into the room.
Well, we've been here.
Let's see
couldn't
the
click
legs.
on the link.
See the legs.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, dude, let's see them calves.
I can't show you my calves right now, guys. I'm in my car.
And you're nude from the waist down.
Definitely
What?
not. It's like 39 degrees outside.
You like to drive around with no clothes on the bottom.
Pretty sure my probation officer would say no to that.
why? He doesn't have a good sense of humor.
Yeah,
As long as you're not driving by schools, you're good.
there's a lot of schools in my area. Yeah,
Yeah.
There's-
Dude, I love the beard, man.
He's trimmed, dude. He had a legit one going.
Oh, man.
I did. It got unruly.
Looks good.
Got a little
shadow.
got a little Al-Qaeda.
The Latin shadow.
Latin shadow. It's a little salt and pepper in there, which is nice. Distinguished.
The
Yeah.
ladies like that.
Yeah.
I've been told.
Yeah.
So do the dudes.
So
The dudes like it more, I think.
He's getting more compliments from the dudes than anybody.
At
I
least you're
hear-
getting
I've-
them, bro. At least you're getting them.
I heard that's a good thing, man. You know, if you got like gay guys coming up being like, you're hot, that's good.
He's got
I've
straight
heard.
guys doing it too.
It's
We're ready
you
to
know,
cross over.
when a man compliments you on your beard, it's like, yeah, you're like, I'll take it. You know, it means, yeah, it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. But yeah, no women have said nice beard to date. So, oh well.
Well,
Oh,
you're
well.
sitting in the
They're
car.
intimidated by your good looks and your confidence. So they're probably a little scared to come up to you and say, boy, you look nice in that beard, Anthony.
I don't know about that, but thank you, Rob.
It's gonna be a hot T-bone summer.
Ooh,
It's gonna be-
I have a
So-
new goal. So my goal is by the middle of June, I'm going to be able to run a 5K, which
Dude,
is not an easy thing for me.
I was
T-Bone, you
gonna-
know about all the 5Ks. Let's sign up for a 5K in the summer and
Yeah.
we'll
Let's do it.
it.
So we
Yeah,
get
I do.
t-shirts. So we
Wait,
get t-shirts too.
T-Bone,
Yeah.
T-Bone, I thought you've been training for a 5K for like 6 months now. What?
5K.
Hey, Sebastian, we don't need to
He signs up
bring
for a
this out.
5K
Yeah.
every like other month, dude.
Yeah.
There's
But
a
have you actually done one?
I've done one on my own, but not like
in
a-
Canada
You
On
guys
a
just weren't
race.
there.
with your girlfriend in Canada.
I did a Mexican kilometer and a Mexican 5K, and we did it. You know,
What's the Mexican 5K? Is there donkeys involved or is it just
no
running? Or what?
no donkeys were harmed in the running, but
Thank God.
yeah, no, I've done 5K by myself, but so I know I can do it now. But to your point, Rob, 5K, it sounds like a lot, like easy to a lot of people. It's not easy at
Not
all.
for me. I'm a
That's
fat
what- for
fucking
me.
old man.
It's like 3
But
point, what,
how many
5
US
miles or something?
3.2.
3.2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like doing that and not looking like, yeah, my big deal is I don't want to look terrible while I'm doing it. So like I don't want to be dying while I'm doing it. And
That wasn't in my goal.
so-
My goal is just to show up and complete. All right. So
Yeah.
So you take the vanity away. I won't win if I have to worry about that. I won't even go.
so why don't we all
Trying to show
why
up.
don't we all just sign up for one in June?
There's
And
a
just
Cinco
do
de
it.
Mayo one.
That's not June. That's called May.
Perfect.
I know.
though.
It's that's a Mexican marathon right there, or 5K.
That is a Mexican 5K right there.
You could do the Cinco de Mayo one. That's so perfect. Come on.
Yeah. There is the Sasquatch one in July, which you get a cool Sasquatch shirt.
Love Sasquatch.
Love
Good friend of
Sasquatch.
mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I talked to him for a long time out in the woods. quite a few different times.
What you
Okay.
you should do the Shamrock run. I'm going to be working it.
Yeah, that's
You guys
also
keep
not
pushing
June.
you guys
Yeah.
keep pushing the date up. Do the May run, do the March run. Let's go.
Hey guys, there's one in February.
Yeah.
Next week.
So Cinco de Mayo's on a Monday. Would that be on a Sunday, the 5K, you think? May 4th?
Probably.
The
And we
Mexicans
could-
have calendars.
It's well, it's on May 4th. So like while we're running it, we could be like, May the 4th be with you. While
Right.
motivational for me, you know? Come on. All right. Anybody?
Hey, Rob, to your question about do Mexicans have calendars? I'm pretty sure the Mayans invented the calendar. I don't know.
I know.
Just throwing that out there.
I know, but you know,
That's on a lunar. That's a
What's
lunar
that?
calendar.
Yeah.
Right?
How do you think we got our calendar?
Contemporary Mexicans.
Yeah.
they were all killed off. You're actually Spanish, so
They were killed off by Mel Gibson's movie. Yeah.
Mel Gibson's making a comeback. You guys see that? Man,
On Fox News.
they're letting they're letting him back. Yeah.
Come back.
Okay, Brandon, 6 months. Can we just say like amazing? Congratulations today.
Thanks, man. I mean, you
How you
guys
feeling?
are a huge part of that. You know, it's definitely had major challenges, but every day it keeps getting easier. I mean, you know, it has its ups and downs, but going and spending time with you guys and going to the gym and the socialization has been fucking, you know, outstanding. You know, it's fucking 6 months ago, there's no way I could even envision you know, being at this point in my sobriety, but also having all you guys and the rest of the, you know, 5:30 upstairs in the gym. I mean, it's you know, it's like that interview with Josh Brolin where he says, you know, my whole goal of sobriety is to have more fun than I did when I was drinking, and that's what I'm trying to do. And I mean, you guys, even if it, I mean, it's like last night, I'm gonna, you know, mention this in my share tonight, but like last night, me, T-Bone, went to this other meeting, and we're just sitting there, and I just started smiling, because like we're sitting there, you know, whispering, talking shit to each other, and then T-Bone busts out these fucking Mentos and starts passing them out to us. And it reminded me of like being in, you know, elementary school or middle school in an assembly and just, you know, fucking goofing off with your friends. And then there was a point where there's this guy sitting next to me and, you know, he claimed that he had a year, but he was just kind of a odd dude. And I was going over to whisper to T-Bone. He was on my left-hand side, and I was whispering in his right ear, his deaf ear. And he like motioned that he couldn't hear and went to turn, and we like almost kissed. So it's like, you know, it's just the being able to fucking.
I've done that with Bone.
What's that? What's
I
that?
thought it was just me and you, T-Bone. Jeez, dude.
Oh, dude,
Just
you're
thought we had
too
a
far
special
away. He's branching out.
Oh man.
So,
We
you
almost
know, I'm the next shortest dude. So he likes
T-Bone, is he shorter than you?
who?
Is T-Bone shorter than you?
No. James is, and James is not. He's tall. He's the shortest of the crew, other than me. So
And me.
T-Bone likes to dominate. So you know,
So
he goes for he's looking for the weak one in the herd. So
can I say something here that I'm the only one that put my nickname up here. I mean, what is going on?
Well, I was
I'm
drunk.
kind of new to Zoom, man.
Do
know.
we have to do that?
Yeah.
We do.
I
Yeah,
forgot.
for you, it's important for you guys.
I thought that was part of the deal here.
Well, I knew that because our ex-member couldn't divulge who he was, but I give a shit. I don't care. But if you guys do, then
I don't care, but
it's hard for me to constantly correct myself to call you. I'll have to look. But, oh, wait, that's too soon. Oh, that's beefalo.
I forgot how to do it.
Oh,
I was rushed in. Sorry. I was just trying to get on and.
Yeah, I forgot how to do it.
It's all good. I'm just
We'll do it next time.
yeah.
That's
But
cool.
What does my name show?
Anthony.
Kid.
Anthony S.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
mean, that's me.
That is you. Brandon, I think that's what you were just saying was like a great talking about how you almost like felt like you were a kid again. And
Right.
I think for me that's been like, and I've heard of like a number of people that I've come into contact with you know, since I've been trying to do this sobriety thing, have said, I mean, that's something that um, you know, you need to try and get in touch with, like, or like for myself, you know, because
Right.
I mean, like, for a lot of us, myself included, like, you know, my, you know, addiction issues started when I was really young, right? And so, like, um, you know, the person that I really am has been like clouded by that issue my entire adult life. And so part of like getting clean and you know learning to be a new person is getting in touch with that inner child, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I agree, that's the way I feel. Like I haven't laughed as hard as I've laughed with you guys and like coach, you know,
Right.
in years, dude. I mean, I'm
Right.
talking like belly laughs, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, it's been
And
great, you know.
I
all
mean,
I
that's why we do. I mean, that's one of the biggest things. Um, and I think I picked it up at Treehouse, but like finding my authentic self, which in order for me to really find my authentic self, I have to go back to before my first trauma. All right. And definitely before I first started drinking, but I had some, you know, shit happen to me when I was 8 years old that gave me a perspective that I fought against for years. Um, and this kind of brings me back. I know it's hard for other people to understand how, like, my authentic self was found somewhere in my childhood, and that's what I'm striving to feel like today, which is a really cool thing if you think about it. Like you said, James, it's an amazing thing. And you brought up a good point, Brandon. Um, dude, 5 months ago, you came up to me crying, and I'm not saying that to like that's the reason I said okay when you talked to me about helping you,
Right.
because I was full and I didn't have time and I didn't know you, so I didn't appreciate you, but like you were fucked,
Right.
and I get that. And today you're not. You get to touch a lot of lives too, and you are not that same guy that came up to me 5 months ago. Because I think you had like 36 days when you talked,
Right. Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
think
I mean, that's, and you know, as I'm getting further along in this, and it's just I know, like even just leaving the meeting the other night, where I'm just like, you know, I may not want to go, but I know me being there is going to help other people, and me being there, you know, I'm going to be helped by other people, you know, and it's always been whenever I get to the meeting, regardless how I feel, I always feel better leaving the meeting, regardless of how it went, you know, because there's been times where I'm just like, fuck, I don't want to go. And that's not very often. But, you know, after I leave, I'm like leaving with a smile. And, you know, I thank my higher power for all you guys. Like throughout the day, I'm just like, I'm so fucking grateful about everything. And I just like, even when I'm home by myself and with my cat, like I'm just, my personality, like, is, you know, I love to be fun and playful. And I like crack jokes with my fucking cat where, you know, I've, which is kind of a kind of going off subject, but just like I'm creating this entirely different life that, I mean, every aspect of my life now is nothing is the same at all, and it never will be. But I'm like creating this new life without, you know, my wife and kid, which is kind of a mind trip, you know, because I haven't seen them. Shit, it's going on 7 months now. And I'm excited, for the day, and before I was just like, fuck, it needs to happen. It needs to happen. I need to see them, especially, my kid. But I'm patient. I'm more patient now because I see the results of how much better I'm doing as an individual, and having trust in myself, believing in myself, and it's all because of this program. I mean, there's just so many different, I mean, every aspect of my life has been touched by you guys and this program. And it's been, and I've mentioned it in conversation before, but had I not seen the results, because I'm just like that. Like if I don't see results instantly, I fucking get discouraged and I don't want to do it. And so I could have easily, fucking gone out again. And I feel that I'm every day I'm building more and more confidence in myself. I mean, even yesterday when I was at the shop working, I was at my old shop because that's where my plasma cutter is. And I'm trying to cut these parts, and this fucking machine has a tendency to fuck up. And it did. And, I've got a customer that's coming in tomorrow to pick up an order. And it just, for an hour, this thing was fucking up. And I'm just like, I stepped back. I said, take a break. I went out and had a cigarette. I came back in and figured it out. But my normal self, I would have gone into the office, grabbed my fucking box of wine and started drinking and fucked off. And it's just this momentum that I'm building, a week ago where I probably would have done that, found any excuse to fucking get the fuck out of there. And it's just, I'm building more confidence and momentum, and it's all because of the program and you guys. I mean, and a bunch of other shit as well, the gym, but it's seeing those results and being proud of myself, because I've built this up where, I just fucking stick it out, and it's fucking great to see that because in the past, I mean, James can uh relate to this, where especially when you're by yourself at your shop, and it's easy to just go fuck off and not, neglect your responsibilities. And so anyway, it's just been an
Yeah, I can
amazing
relate to that too.
situation. What's that?
Yeah, I could relate to that too. I own
Yeah,
my own business. I can easily just go off and fuck off, and I do.
right.
And that's what.
And that's, I've talked to Rob about this, like when I go and hang out, uh, and we're having fun, I feel fucking a little bit, I really, in the beginning, it was nothing but guilt, where I was always thinking about other things that I should be, responsibilities that I should be doing, and forget that I'm in recovery. And, and I talked to Rob about this, but I need to remember that, because sometimes I get this overwhelming sense of guilt that I'm neglecting responsibilities and shit. But that's just how you should be through life, regardless if you're in recovery or not, is enjoying. Before, if I was hiking with my family or anything like that, it was always, where are we gonna go to get a drink afterwards? It was always that. And even went before I had a family, it was, let's go to brunch so we can fucking have some mimosas or some drinks. It was always, uh, you know, looking for a destination to get a drink, or an excuse to have a drink, regardless of the time of day. And now it's like, where can we go and have fun, or just sit and socialize and do nothing and just enjoy each other's company. And I don't know if I ever had that. In fact, I didn't. Because I started drinking at such a young age. It was always, even like in high school, was looking towards going to a party or something like that to go drink, where I felt comfortable in my skin and socialize. And now it's like, let's go to the fucking mall and hang out and talk shit and, watch T-Bone pick out some nice shirts.
Yeah.
Hmm.
To your point about you know, um, like not putting stuff off, things like that. I think that all would, you know, obviously come for me would come from a place of like, fear in a lot of cases,
Mhm.
of, maybe my efforts not being good enough.
Right.
And obviously it was tied to using too, because, when I was in my like actual addiction, like that was obviously like you just touched on, the only thing that mattered, right? So a big part of like my, recovery is like, and especially I think this is why a lot of places, treatment centers or other types of places like that kind of, have the patients like make their bed when they first get up in the morning. That's something that I do every morning now, right? I mean, you take care of like little things right away, right? And that like slowly helped me build um more self-esteem, and
Right.
and and that like eventually translates to me, okay, not putting things off like I used to, right? Because of the fear thing. Also, when I find myself in that spot that like, you know, that I am putting things off, procrastinating, I've gotten to the point now where I'll like ask myself, why am I putting this thing off right now? What's the feeling behind this? Is it because I don't think it's going to be good enough, or I'm going to fail, or whatnot? And so I think we learn those tools, or I have learned
Right.
those tools. Now, you know, definitely a work in progress for me, for real. Like I find myself getting overwhelmed pretty quickly still, but um, I think planning, um, and building in time in my day. So
Right.
I used to like schedule shit right on top of one another because I was fueled by fucking speed, right? So it's like, sure, I can do fucking, I'll be there 8:30. Yeah, 9:30 appointment. Yeah, that's cool. Let's do 10:30, 11:30. Fucking, you guys
Right.
want to meet at midnight? I don't give a shit, And then like all day I'm like fucking running back and forth from one place to the next, just like insanity. Now it's like, okay, I need to build in time to just like let things sit,
Mhm.
you know, and process stuff, and also, make sure to prioritize things like this, my meetings, meeting, with sponsors, fellowship thing, so
Right.
yeah.
And I mean, one thing that really stands out for me, where, when I would look at a meeting, I would, it was always the 5:30, and then hanging out with you guys more where you're like, let's try this other place. I need to get to a meeting is what I would hear you guys say. And I just, that was never even a thought for me, because I mean it was always just like the 5:30. I got into this schedule of always just doing the 5:30, but seeing how you guys would take the program and getting to a meeting so seriously, where I'm just like, oh, you know I mean, going to the meetings for me in the beginning obviously were just the main thing that was getting me through. And then it was socializing for me, and not seeing it from a different aspect, where it's just like, no, let's try this, let's check out these other meetings. And it's been great to see that, to get another perspective on you know that there's more to offer uh to different meetings, and just seeing and meeting different people. So that's been great to see that. It's been eye-opening for me to see you guys, eager to go to another meeting, or you're like, I need to get to a meeting regardless of the time, where if I couldn't make the 5:30, I wouldn't, look for another meeting to go to, or, to seek out another place to go. So that's been really great to see for me.
And I think that's the point of like meetings at first, for sure, for newcomers, right? To just, you feel like shit.
Right.
You wouldn't be going there unless you had a problem, right? And you needed help. Like I didn't go to AA because I, was having a great time. It's like I don't know what to do. I need help. This is where people say to go, right? And initially, you know, it's like you listen, all these people are really friendly, yet they're
Right.
talking about shit that I can relate to. And it's like, fuck, I felt that way, but they don't
Yeah.
seem to be feeling that way anymore. Right.
Right.
So initially, and then they're like, okay, this is how we ended up like feeling like we do now. Like, although if you listen to what I'm saying, like our shares here, like we felt like just how you feel now as a new person. The way we got here was by working through these steps and trying to practice them, in all our daily lives, right?
Right.
Here's a sponsor, here's some numbers. Let's start doing that. And then eventually you start going to the meetings to like be that person that gives back to the newcomer,
Right.
right? And that's ultimately what like is going to keep you from picking up the first one, which is really for me, I mean, if I can stay away from the one, you know, then I can work on everything else. Once I pick up the one, fuck, dude. You guys might as well just, Rob, dude. I pick up the one, you guys won't see me for probably 5 years.
Oh no, you
If
might
ever
see
again.
me. You better hope you don't see me, because if you see me, I'm coming in like a fucking wily coyote, and
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
taking
probably try and
everything
rob
you
him.
have.
Yeah.
I I think more like a Tasmanian devil. I
Yeah,
think you'll
Yeah.
come in more
yeah.
Tasmanian devil. Real quick, Tucson hit on God, that like that process change, right? Like, and then Brandon was talking about it in like 6 months, like learning that process. Um, like it's the, I guess what I'm trying to say here is like it takes time to build up that process, right? To change things, and like it's trial and error a little bit, right? Like if you can get through it, like you can build a little bit of resiliency and say like, oh, I can get through this really weird, odd, hard time with a different mindset and a different methodology towards approaching this really difficult situation in my life. And that takes time, but like I don't know, for the first, I don't want to say the first time, but like to some it comes sooner, right? Is what I'm trying to say,
Right.
as opposed to others. And like Brandon, I feel like I'm kind of envious of like your first 6 months, because my first 6 months did not go like a lot of it's what we see on the surface, but my first 6 months were a fucking mess, man. Like I was crying 5 out of 7 nights a week, crying myself to bed. um I wasn't as like clear in my direction. Like I was just like, why am I doing this? Nothing's changing.
Right.
Like I don't know. All that to say, like I envy like you jumped in and you just kind of went at it like right away, and like for you, you were able to see some of those changes like immediately. Um, and like I don't know, what would you tell others who don't see it immediately? Like because a lot of people really don't maybe get it that quickly. It took me a lot
He
of
ain't
trials
got
and
shit yet.
errors.
Let me
Okay,
just fucking say that.
okay.
Right.
Well,
I mean, it was just, I mean, I had so many things. I mean, just, I'm not saying that I'm unique in any way, but I had so many things, my personal shit that I was going through. I mean, for one, I couldn't remember anything. Like I was talking to you last night, T-Bone, like there were 3 months where I had an argument and a fight with my older sister about my niece's graduation. I mean, there's 3 months of just, I don't fucking know. It was blackout, other than some of the recordings, videos that I took of myself. Um, and I mean, there was the anxiety trying to get my fucking brain back. I've told you guys before, like I thought I had permanent brain damage. I mean, physically I couldn't fucking move. And I wasn't like that until I went to the hospital and fucking detoxed. That's when all my physical, I mean, mentally before I went to the hospital, I mean, I thought I was okay. I was it wasn't me. I wasn't fucking driving. And so when I got sober, I just I love doing research, and I was prior to even getting sober, I would listen to these podcasts because I always want to try to better myself, but I can take that information but have no action with it. And it wasn't until I got sober where I started utilizing the information that I was learning. And I mean, honestly, a lot of it had to do with being with you guys and seeing, and my compulsion to want to fit in is, wanting to be up to where you guys were. And so it was just like, for me, it was just fucking, full speed ahead. I mean, and it hasn't been fucking easy. There's been so many times where I'm just like, fuck this. And not wanting to fucking kill myself, but just fucking wanting it to end. And that those intrusive thoughts still creep in, but I'm building the tools in order to do that. And my sobriety, I look at, like a work project, where if I have a project that comes in, I know what I need to get. I need to allocate, I have this machine to do this process, I need to contact this vendor in order to do this, and I start lining out the job. And that's what I've done. I've implemented that with my sobriety, where it's exactly the same fucking process. In order to complete a project, I need to do these things. And so I mean, it's easier to do, for me anyway, it's easier to do that approach for work and not myself. And I've never put really any work into myself. And I've used this term before, but my life has been duct tape and toilet paper. It's always been a quick fix and not the actual way to, instead of getting stitches or something, I'd use fucking super glue to mend the wound and just get by. And, took fucking 50 years in my life blown apart in order for me to realize that, and see the progress that you guys have made, to hear your stories and see the progress of you guys and the people in the 530 upstairs, and and want that. I want what you guys have. And I mean, I just, like I've said it before, that landing in this group and being in this situation, I mean, I I can't thank you guys enough. And the program, I mean, like never even considered AA up until that nurse. And even getting sober, I mean, I knew I was drinking too much. And thoughts of me being an alcoholic, yeah, maybe. But I mean, hitting my bottom was honestly the best thing for me in order to reset my life. And I'm able now to look back, and I can pinpoint all of these things. And I've talked to Rob about it, all these things in my life where, I was right. And when I drank, I was always right. And so I drank a lot, so I was right a lot. And being able to look back and be like, fuck, man, I was wrong. I'm able to admit to myself where I was wrong. And hopefully in time, I'll be able to admit to the people in my life that I fucked over, that I was wrong, and, work it out. If it happens, it happens. I know with some it will and some it won't. But having this, being able to have this acknowledgement, and not having things driven by pride and ego, has been a huge breakthrough for me. I mean, and it's still there. It's gonna fucking rear its head, but as time goes on, it's like James was saying, these little steps, even if it's just making your bed, we discount the amount of work we do in a year. But I'm looking down the road of, I've been able to get where I am in 6 months. I mean, I look at the what's next month going to look like? What's a year going to look like? And, what's 10 years going to look like? And that's a huge, driver for me. Before, it was like I would get inspired, especially when I'm drinking. I'm just like, oh, have all these grand ideas and never put any of them into action, very few. And now it's just like, fuck, I can do a lot. I can help a lot of people. And that's like being able to talk to someone that's new, that comes to the meeting that's new, is amazing. And that's something that if I was drinking, I would I would have the idea or the desire to want to help people, but I wouldn't. I've talked to Rob about that, where it, after the fact, be like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, and now I'm slowly taking action in order to do these things, and it's huge for self-esteem. And I know, it knowing that I can touch someone's life just a little bit, even if it's just opening a door for someone, and they get a smile, or just, and that's one of the things, I pray for to my higher power in the morning, is that the things that I've been given, that I can pass on, even if it's just one person a day. I mean, this shit sounds totally corny to me, but it's true. These are the things that help me get through the day. And if any of you guys are hurting, or, I'm always available. It's like making yourself available, putting your shit aside to help someone else, and it helps you, and not being selfish. And I've been such a selfish prick the majority of my life, and justified it in ways that suited me. And I've been able to do that, where it's just like, I can do this. And I mean, I just, going through my life, I haven't had a lot of consequences, especially with my drinking. I've never had a DUI. Thank God. I've never been arrested. Um, and that helped fuel my alcoholism, especially, being self-employed, and just being able to not have to answer to anybody, other than, coming home and my wife and kid, but I was able to hide that pretty well. And then it just reached the fucking apex and blew the fuck up, which I'm grateful for. Uh, I
Hey,
Well, I was gonna
yeah.
jump in here, and before we move on, assuming like we ever get people that actually listen to this, you never know, we might get a few here and there. But like, I think to your point, Brandon, like, one of the commonalities I would say between all of us is that, at least from, I'll use an I statement here, but I would also say that this is a common thing between all of us here. Like, in my mind, for me, I wake up every morning with untreated addiction, alcoholism, a disease, right? And the last couple years, I've done something for that every morning, and I think you all do the same, right? Every day, every morning, every day, right? We do something, to that is related to our recovery. And that, you know, over time has just allowed me to maintain and get through things, right? And that's like what, you've seen over the last 6 months, and that's what you're doing, and that's like how you're now at 6 months clean, sober, and so, um, that I think is one of the things that I keep in mind, is that like this can get away from me pretty fucking quick, dude.
Right.
Like in my experience, it has. What do you think, Seabass?
Well, I was gonna add to that. For me, I've always thought of it as a lifestyle change, like I had this lifestyle for so long, since 20s, late teens, where it was like drinking, socializing, drinking, drinking was always part of the lifestyle, and going out, you know, and now that I'm sober, it's, yeah, it's a complete lifestyle change. I have to think of it as my new life, and this is my new lifestyle, and stay in the middle. And yeah, almost everything in my life is I incorporate recovery, from my
Right.
routine to middle of the day to going to meetings at night. Like I have to like I have to admit, I have to like accept the fact that this is my new life. If I step out of that life, then I'm in big trouble.
Right.
So as long as I stay in the middle and incorporate all these things. And yes, when I was traveling, I didn't do a whole lot. I didn't go to meetings. I didn't read the big book, but I I felt safe, and I shared this in a meeting a few days ago. But I was with Sarah and our son and my dad, and just busy all day. And my wife's sober, Sarah's sober, so I felt safe and comfortable not going to meetings and not doing the thing. But as soon as I got back, I was right back in it. Like I've been going to meetings as much as I can. I'm gonna go tonight. So I think, and I did, and I shared about this. I don't know if Brandon was there or Rob, but when I was gone, like towards the second, maybe going into the third week, I had this feeling, and I'll never forget. I had this feeling like, okay, I'm in a different country. I'm by myself. I haven't gone to meetings. I haven't done anything in AA. Like maybe I could do this by myself. Like these
Right.
just kind of crept up. Like maybe I could live in a different country and not do AA and not like be in recovery and just be normie. But
Here's the thing about that is you could.
Kennedy. Yeah.
Like we don't have AA does not have the monopoly on recovery. It's a quality of life thing for me.
right.
It's a quality of life thing. My quality of life is amazing because I'm embedded in you guys and helping other people. So my soul is full,
Yeah.
right? And I don't know that I would use again either because of how bad my bottom was. It was really bad, as
Well,
was yours.
yeah, me
As
too.
was yours.
It matters.
I know. But I also know I'm not going to test that theory, right?
No, no,
And I
that
don't want to
I
I don't
always
want to change my quality of life. Like my quality of life, I don't think about using, I haven't thought about it for years. Just not in the fucking equation. But I do think about how my inner soul feels. I think about how my head is. I think about how I react to the world around me. And do I bring a positive message? Do I bring a positive perspective? Am I making a positive influence on those people around me and those that are out in the world, right? And I don't know if I could do that as well if I didn't do my meetings.
yeah.
Right.
Well, and that was the first time I felt like that, and like since I've been sober, I was like, yeah, maybe I don't need it. But obviously, it was only like just a thought, like it was gone. And now that I'm back, yeah, it's like I need these meetings. I need you guys. I need I need to be surrounded by it. So
Do you
And I,
do you
I go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, so you were gone for, was it 3 weeks, right? Three
yeah,
weeks, yeah. And like you're living this new lifestyle, and maybe you had this fleeting thought of like, oh, wow, I could live in a beautiful different country, and I don't know.
yeah,
I'm glamorizing here, but live in a hammock, watching some waves pass by.
yeah.
But
Start a new
but
life, like
yeah,
put
but
all
then
behind me. Like, yeah, I was never a drunk, like alcoholic. Like I'm living here now, and I'm starting fresh. Like that's
but
like
what's like when you got back here and you started in bed, like doing your routine again, as you know it, as you've known it for the last 2+ years, like what was the biggest like maybe shift in like, I don't know, that you saw in yourself once you were back in your routine here?
just realizing that I have a problem and I'm an alcoholic. That if I don't do this, then I'm in big trouble. Yeah. Like hearing the
Yeah.
stories, like again, because I wasn't in touch with that. I wasn't in touch with everybody else's stories and everybody else's lives and what they're going through. Like I have to hear that. I mean, being like having you guys and being able to talk and communicate with you guys was kind of like my, you know, being in the middle of it. But without, without that, it would have just been me and my family, which was fine. But having you guys definitely helped for sure.
And that's kind of the secret sauce, I think, right? That a lot of people talk about is like, because if I separate myself from this deal, um, first of all, like the thinking comes back, right? That the crazy thinking, and then, pretty shortly after that, I start to forget how bad it was, right? When
Yep.
I don't have people that are fresh off the shit show, and that's why, I think they talk about in the book that like that's the one thing that when all else fails that will save the day is like strenuous work with another alcoholic addict, right? Because my mind likes to tell me that like, you know what, it wasn't that bad, dude. Like,
Right.
yeah, I wasn't actually after me, and I think I could remember that now after I go back out. You know what I mean? Like, for sure I could do this, and there's lots of evidence to the contrary in my
I,
case. Yeah.
I think the biggest thing, like I talked about it with guys that are in treatment right now a lot, and what seems to at least interest them that I know is true is that if I have, let's just say 40 years of behaviors, which put me to a place where I absolutely had to get sober or I was going to die, and I have 5 years of new behaviors, which has saved my life. Like, how long of me not doing the things that have given me these new behaviors? How long does it take of me not doing those things until those 40 years start piling back in? Right. And it's just, it might take time for some of us that work on this deal the way we do. Like, I, I don't need to go to a meeting every week. I go, but it would take a while, but my old behaviors will creep in. And then my brain will need to get some kind of relief because I'm building up all of these things that are damaging me, and then I'm going to need relief. And eventually, I know where I can get that relief right now,
Right.
and that's how I see it.
I've
Yeah.
noticed that some of the new people coming into the 530, they've been in the program for years, but they haven't been going to meetings. But a common theme is that, you know, they were miserable. They were sober but miserable because they weren't involved in the community, and getting back and having seen them a couple of times and share and say how much they need the meetings and how much more enjoyable their sobriety is because of that. And I mean, and it's common. It happens. I usually hear at least one person a week saying that. So it's you can stay sober, and I'm sure it works for some people that they don't need the meetings, but from the evidence that I've seen, it's needed.
All
Yeah,
right.
30-second check-in. Here we go. Papa.
Oh shit, me. Um,
30
I'm
seconds.
I got 30 seconds. Okay. 1 to 10, I'm a 7, maybe a little bit better. My head's starting to heal, so my stroke, the symptoms that I had from that are going away, which is really beneficial and good. Um, my sleep's good, getting better because I'm trying different medicines. Uh, And then last week I worked out every day, and that was the first time I've been able to do that for 2 months now.
It's awesome.
Um, so
Oh, yeah.
yeah, everything's getting back where it needs to be for me to feel okay. And in spite of all of the challenges I've had since my stroke, like not one of those times did I think, you know what, this would help me feel better, like some kind of external force, whether that's, using heroin or meth or drinking. Like those things just aren't a part of my equation on how to feel better and how to succeed in life anymore. So that's a positive thing. So I'm good. Thank you.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
thanks, Papa.
Yeah.
Let's go 6 months.
Oh, me? Um, Yeah, I would say eight, 8.5. It's, last week was a tough week, but me and T-Bone spent a lot of time together, kind of going through similar situations, and it really helped. And talking to Rob, um, and I mean, I'm just excited for what's next. That's today. Who knows how I'm gonna feel tomorrow? I mean, my mood could shift. The other day, it went well. I got work done, went great, got home, and it was just like started missing my family, and it creeps in. But I talk to myself. I'm like, this is gonna pass. You know what you got to do, and it's gonna pass. And that's a huge thing for me in the past was I would just wallow in that and then drink, and then it would just exacerbate the situation. So, um, having the tools, and I treat, hanging out with you guys or doing something fun as like a party. I mean, that was my motivation when I drank was to fucking go to, get to the next social event or whatever, wherever to drink. And that became, where I would just drink by myself in loneliness. And my, I'm treating my sobriety in the same way where I want to hang out, I want to socialize, and it scares the shit out of me to go back and be alone again. I don't want that. It's a horrible thing, and I got used to it, and I thought that that's the way that I was, and I couldn't even imagine going another fucking day like that because I knew if I drank that I'd be ashamed and I would just fucking, you know, recoil and avoid everybody. And so that's a huge motivation for me is the socialization and continue the party, but continue it sober and socializing with you guys in the community. So that's all I got. Who's next? Too short? How you
T-Bone.
doing, man?
Um,
Soon?
too short.
See, just
That
complicated.
that's just what the ladies say, but
It's,
we love you.
it's sad but true.
Sorry, James.
Sad but true. Don't be sorry, dude. You gotta own it,
No.
man. You gotta
Yeah,
own it.
I know. I've been there. Yeah.
The only
You've
way to
been
cope, my
there?
friend. It's the only
I've
way to
been-
cope.
Yeah.
If you've been there, how did you get out of that place?
Oh,
You
I,
don't,
I I deal with it daily. Don't
Oh,
you? Yeah,
You
don't we
find
all?
different girls.
Yeah.
you don't get out of it. That's the problem, dude. That's the thing. Gotta learn to live with it. Okay. 30 seconds. I'm doing good. 8. Um, schedule's going all right. School's good. Easing back into work. That was tough at first, still
We're
tough.
gonna have to get more into that on the next one, James. 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Big deal.
we haven't heard much about what's going on with you.
Yeah,
I
I miss you guys. And but I got, I got a new gym. It's pretty good group of people. And so everything's going good. I've been really busy. I've started working with a new sponsor, Rob,
Good,
because we kind of
good.
talked, yep. And I've got some meetings I'm going to regularly. I've got a potluck I'm going to at 5 tonight.
Nice.
I made a pie for it even.
You
Yeah,
made the
Ooh,
fucker?
yeah.
I made it. It
Holy
wasn't
shit.
hard. Yeah,
Whoa.
You never
Nice,
fucking
dude.
made us a pie.
I know.
Come
You
on,
never
dude.
fucking made it. It's not, I miss you guys. I'll be down in a couple weeks for coaches 1 year. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm gonna be sleeping on T-Bone's couch. That was way over a minute. Go ahead, T-Bone. Love y'all.
Hold on 1 second. Hey, James, on Friday, I requested the thong song and we were reminiscing and missing your dance techniques and so you're
Nice.
talked about almost every time when we're at the gym. So
Yeah.
just so you know, you're missed. The white man's overbite.
Yeah, for real. That's
No,
with the finger pointing.
Right.
seriously, I've never seen such good moves on a white guy before.
Yeah, right.
They are pretty damn good. Okay, I'll be quick, but yes, to Sebastian's point, for next week, we gotta talk about the moves, and hear about that a little more, Jimmy. So, yeah, quick check in. January blues. Anyone, if you felt them, raise your hand. I felt them. Things got rough for a period, but we got through it. You guys helped. I'm feeling a lot better today. 8 of 10 today. I was really looking forward to talking to you guys this morning. And I don't know, now I get to go back and hang out with two beautiful kiddos and I don't know, make some hot chocolate. So living in today, staying present, and yeah, just grateful. Love you guys.
Guess that leaves me. I'm good. I'm an 8. I think last meeting or last podcast we did, or the first one, I think our son was here as well, and so our son is back here again this weekend. It's his birthday tomorrow. We went out to dinner last night, had a good time. We went to Kung Pao, by the way, which is on 21st, near, Northwest 21st. We all got to go there sometime. I don't know about tonight. I don't know if we're doing something tonight for dinner.
I don't know.
That place is good. It's really good. Anyway, so yeah, we've been hanging out with our son, having a good time. It's his birthday tomorrow. He's going to be 19. We, looking forward to it. Going to go to the meeting tonight. So yeah, all is good. That's about it.
I will not be going to dinner because I'm hopefully gonna be at the meeting, but I'll have a couple treehouse guys with me that I'm taking on a hike, and then we're gonna go to the meeting. But I got to get them back home before their 7 o'clock house meeting. So I won't be at dinner, but I'm hoping we're gonna be at the meeting. It depends on where they're at and if they want to go.
Okay.
Last topic. If the weather's good, can we schedule a hike for next weekend? I think
Yeah,
that'd be lovely.
I love doing hikes. Yeah. Yeah, and it'd be good for these guys to get to know you. You don't get to come to the treehouse meeting, so which I get. But yeah, it'd be great to have them connect with. We got a new guy in who's fantastic. He's going to be great. Thank
Awesome.
God. Thank fucking God.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That crew needs it.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'd love to do a hike.
Cool.
Me too.
Yep.
I'm in.
Okay.
Great pod,
We
y'all.
get to see those calves on the trail, baby.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Love you
Thanks,
guys. I'll
guys.
see
Love you.
some of
See
you
you soon.
tonight. Take
Yeah.
care, James, man. Miss you.
Miss you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Peace out.
Well, that wraps up this episode of Right Size Living. Thank you guys for participating, and most of all, thank you listeners for your attention. We hope you found this interesting and will join us again soon. Goodbye.